And we're live, and let me get everybody off speaker. I'm like so unprepared. I'm making coffee. I got the speakers on.
There's so many things going on right now.
Mass
Wow.
pandemonium, cats and dogs living together.
Oh my goodness.
You can name that
Crazy
movie.
craziness.
If you can name that movie quote.
Oh, that sounds oddly familiar.
Oh, it
but
should. It's an incredibly
yeah.
famous movie. Cult
Howdy,
classic.
everybody. How's everybody doing?
So,
It's a bit
all right.
chilly.
Let me
It's
switch
chilly
you
over
off
where
so
I
you're
am.
not going to get the
So,
terrible echo. Give me 2 seconds here to figure out which button to press, and I don't freeze everybody like I did last week.
yeah, just whatever you do, don't push your mouse like off to the corner or
Yeah,
anything,
and
right? Just like
wiggle.
that's what we
No,
don't
no
want to do.
wiggling. No
No
wiggling.
wig. No, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. So hey everybody. Hey Cotito, Tactical Starseed Airsoft, Razvan, and Bumpkin and Winky, all in the
Oh,
chat early. You're like
that's right.
the notification squad.
I
But
know. Gotta love you guys.
awesome. So
Yeah.
back on a normal night. No
Yeah.
more.
Back on Monday. Wow. What a week. Like, I don't know, man. Like last weekend, and we'll probably get into a little bit of this, but like since Saturday, just Saturday and Sunday, the things that has been going on over here, I felt like I've already just lived a whole week of my life.
A week. I think you lost a year. I think you
Oh,
aged an
goodness
entire year
gracious.
based on like just
Like
knowing what you
just
went through.
just Saturday and Sunday alone. It's just, oh my
You're like,
God.
that's it. It's one of those days where you're just like, take your
Yeah.
hat off, toss it in the corner, James Bond style, and I'll be like, I'm done. That's it.
No, it's one of those, those memes where the guy jumps out of the window, you know? He puts his jacket down nicely, sets his table up nicely. Everything's nice. He walks over to the window and then jumps out.
Yeah.
That's, that's exactly. Oh man, that's exactly what I feel like. More times than not sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh
I have
my
that too, man.
goodness.
I don't even know which way's up with my work right now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, here's a funny thing. Like for me, it's only half to do with work. Well, I guess this also has to do with work, doesn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So, to let you guys know what happened, someone at the office caught the beer bug, and well, how do I put it? Someone did an antigen test, like their own test at home. The rapid antigen at home test tested positive, and so the person was very responsible and called some of us that we had close proximity with. I wasn't worried about it whatsoever, but whatever. So just out of courtesy, I went and did a rapid test, an antigen test, and I was fine. And so who would have thought?
Yeah.
And then so I was fine. And the moment I came back fine, I swear to God, it was in the space of like 2 seconds from each other. I had my supervisor call me. I had like some other people from the office call me. It was HR and all that. They're like, "Oh my God, do you know so and so may have caught COVID?" I'm like, "Okay, so did they catch it or not?" And they're like, "Well, we're still waiting for the government PCR test." I'm like,
Now, for those of you watching in Western countries, you're like, what's the big deal? Mark's in HK, right?
Yeah, I'm here in Hong Kong. While everybody's opening back up, and everybody's kind of getting some herd immunity, going with the science. Us here, we're doubling, tripling down. We're going backwards.
You switched to playing hamster, bro.
Yeah, man,
Playing
dude, like,
hamster.
come on. You guys are coming out of like food shortages, and things are kind of getting back in the play, and the uh, you know things are turning around for you guys. Oh, we're starting the food shortages here.
Is there a run on toilet paper again?
Oh no, we just like don't have any vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the don't have any vegetables because like I think 2 truckers tested positive, and then we can't get anything in from China. But hey, it is what it is. Pop champagne. Woo!
Yep. Well, speaking of that, while you finish kind of telling your story, I see you're drinking coffee. I'm gonna go grab mine. I hit the go
Yes.
button on the coffee maker right before the show. So give me like 10
Yeah.
seconds to be unprofessional and be right
No
back.
problem. So, um, so yesterday, no, so Saturday, I spent the whole day with my supervisor and with some other members of our staff, just trying to get things sorted out. You know, trying to make sure everybody's okay and trying to make sure everybody's, you know, getting their testing done. And you know, we do have some protocol. We have some protocols that we have to follow. So, you know, we have to test negative of 2 PCR tests before we can go back to the office. So if any of you guys know our day job or know my day job or have anything, you know, have ordered anything recently of the last week, you're gonna probably have to be a little bit patient with us due to this. We had to go, HR had to go contact the health department and to let them know that someone in our office contracted, you know, the beer bug, and they have to send out people to do a deep clean, a bunch of stuff. So this week, until I get my results back, I'm not allowed to go back into the office. So I did my first PCR test on Saturday. I did my second one today, so I should be getting my results in by the end of the week. So I'm fine, but you know, it's just there's a lot of people who are very worried at the office, and I think maybe it's a little too much worrying, but it is what it is. So you know, I can understand why people are a little freaked out because the messaging here from our our administration sometimes is a bit worrisome, to say the least. So
the sky is falling.
It is worth worrying about.
So for me, I'll be heading to the States actually. So you're talking about locking down and probably
what is
a few
this?
months.
This is really the Squidward and SpongeBob meme. I am literally Squidward here, watching you and Masaki and all you guys out there playing. You know, this is
At the window.
My goodness, this is my goodness. Well, Bumpkin, we're drinking coffee today too. It's a nice chilly day, chilly evening. So
not totally coffee for me. I do have something else. So I got
I'm just drinking
a new
coffee.
one to share. But I had to do coffee. I'm like, I had a huge meal right before the show. I cooked dinner. I did I made like homemade pasta sauce, and I did chicken and salmon in it, and broccoli, and like put it over rice. I'm trying to be a little healthier than doing the pasta thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I got leftovers just staring at me over there, and I'm just like shoveling it down. And then Mark and I get on for like 20, 30 minutes before the show. And kind of like, all right, what are we gonna talk about? Kind of like run through everything. So it's just finally settling, but it's good to be back. I mean, heck, for those of you that joined us, you joined us probably a few days ago. I mean, this is like show 2 and is almost as many days. And
well, let me tell you, it feels like a week. So I'm just saying.
It does. Well, it feels like a week, feels like a day. I don't know. I lose track.
Gracious.
I lose track.
Yeah.
But like we said, welcome back. This is going to be a pretty chill, free flow episode. We got a few things we want to talk about and we have in mind, but we're going to kind of keep it open. It's a coffee chat. And by the way, since nobody called it earlier, it was Ghostbusters. It's raining cats and dogs living together.
Yeah.
Mass hysteria.
It was the first one, right?
Yeah, the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Bill Murray actually doing the line.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know that
there you
sounded
go.
oddly familiar.
Yeah, that's why. But yeah, didn't want people to leave anybody hanging too long. Man, what a day. I have been watching the world burn through the news.
It's so funny. You say that, and then the first instinct to do is laugh. About it.
It's like, now,
like
for those of you on the other side of the planet,
so funny, ironically. Okay, I'm just saying, it's ironically funny.
I just feel like I don't know. I'm not going to get on that because we're going to end up getting shadow banned off YouTube.
Oh goodness gracious!
If I go down that path. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I choose to pretty much now any mainstream news. I'm just like, click, nope. Don't even absorb it. Don't even look at it. Just I'm done.
Yeah, Private Bumpkin is totally right. World's burning again. Ruffle.
Yeah, it's like that. Speaking of memes, it's like the guy like, this is fine with the coffee mug as the house is on fire. Like,
dude, this is exactly what life has been for the last little bit of time. Like I'm not even joking. I swear to God. Like work work, bless its heart, the office, they keep the news on for us. So we know what's going on and stuff like that, because every day it's changing. And I think it's not had the intended effect that maybe the office wanted to have. Like, it's
Yeah.
really caused a lot of our colleagues to get really anxious. I wish they wouldn't have played so much news at the
Yeah.
office. And it would be either news or the Winter Olympics, which the Winter Olympics, I don't know for you guys, but the commentators here, every few sentences, they got to bring up COVID. I was like, I don't get it. Like, the beer bug. Every few sentences, they got to bring up something to do with the beer bug, something to do with the beer. I don't know if that's like a talking point that they got to keep bringing up, right?
Yeah.
So, and going back to, Pumpkin, yeah, kind of like the meme with the dog and the burning house. I mean, it is literally like the hardcore in your face kind of negativity.
Yeah. And to
And
Razvan's point, I mean, he said like he's in Romania, so he's one country over from the hotspot right now in Ukraine. And we say we laugh, but the whole point is like, ha ha ha, we're about to go to war again, and I guarantee you we'll be sending half the U.S. over, probably, most likely, and it's just like, can't everybody just get along and just like not like
can we just get out of this first, and can everybody just calm the F down?
like
Maybe like a couple years.
let's like have a 5-year, can we just like sign a 5-year deal, like, hey, look, nobody's invading anybody for 5 years, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just all get along. I don't care what the reason.
We just gotta get over this last 2 years. I think this last 2 years counts for 20. Okay, so can we just get out of this two years worth of funk, and then like, look, we'll kick the can down the road for another day. Okay, please, can we? Oh, goodness gracious!
You keep seeing this news, and it's just like, hey, it's like that again. This be the meme episode. It's like that Leo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in was it Once Upon a Time in L.A. or was it Once Upon a Time in, what was the name of that show?
Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yeah. Where he's like, oh, he's holding the beer. He's like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I've seen this episode.
Yeah,
it starts with Poland getting invaded. It's just like, golly, man.
Yep, golly is right. It's just, oh man. Yeah, so like for here, all you can do is, whenever they do their big announcements, all you got to do is just laugh it off. Because if you don't laugh it off, like, wow, you're gonna either be really upset, like angry, or you're just gonna be really scared. And I think it's have the opposite, the secondary effect on a lot of people. And a lot of people are really scared because the messaging is very unclear.
Yep. And Razvan, to give you a point, I know you're on the neighboring door of that mess. Where I live, it seems like every day we're 3 months out from the same thing happening where I'm at right now. Not to get too much into politics there, but that's like the constant news feed. If you open up the news feed, it's always like, this many more planes crossed in the air identification zone. This many more. I mean, it's like every day it's something, right? On the news here. So it's like, I get it. That's what I'm saying. You just got to laugh, because like I'm literally sitting in probably the other world's hotspot, as it calls. So it's like, you just can't win. And just hopefully everybody just chills out,
Yeah, I certainly do hope so too. I think everybody should just calm down and just breathe a little bit. I think everybody's gotten cabin fever because of COVID.
I'm ready to travel, man. Like I said,
let people go travel, and I think tensions will de-escalate.
I've got some stateside stuff. I'm going to have some visits. So for those of you who are watching, whether live or not, I will be giving you guys a heads up, probably late springish. Sometime I'll be announcing on my main channel.
Finish my coffee.
My coffee maker's just turning off on automatic mode. That's what that weird sound is. I'll be traveling back to the States. I'll be also going and visiting some different airsoft shops and sites during that time, for those of you who do follow me on my day job. And that'll be in a handful of months. Once I lock down the dates, what's going to happen, I'll be doing more announcements on the socials, IG and Twitter and things like that. And of course on YouTube. So as that gets closer, if you are in the States, I could be at a shop/field/something near you. I have plans for the Southeast. Probably nothing in the Northeast, right, for this visit. But I have Southeast, the Midwest, and the Southwest, and probably LA as well. So I'm going to be over about 50% of the U.S. and hitting the highlights, and smaller shops, bigger shops. So don't just discount like, oh well, Jonathan, we're not a huge shop. I'll still be going to support my new company. Also to travel around, meet you guys. It's been so long. I haven't seen people.
The Airsoftology concert tour.
It is, man. Do you remember I did that tour years ago? Were you? I don't know if you were.
When you were still doing the RV life?
Yeah, when I did the RV life, I did that one up in the Northeast, man. I went all the way north, like all the way up to like Lake Erie, then cut over east all the way through New York, and then came all the way down the Eastern Seaboard, and finished up. I started off at the kickoff was I started off at Operation Irene, MS Kenetech Urban Training Center, and then I did the big loop all the way up to the Northeast, came all the way back down, and I think a month later, I was at GTI doing the event with American Milsim down there.
Bo, good old Bo.
God, I miss Bo, man. He's good.
I miss that guy. I miss talking to him because like he'll get fired up about something, and then like he'll get real raspy Louisiana. Oh man, boy, I'm gonna tell you what, it's great.
But the thing is, have you ever seen what's his name? Grant Cardone. You know what I'm talking about? He's a YouTube guy. So he's a real estate investor guy on YouTube. He's an interesting guy. Like he's one of those like, I'll teach you how to get super rich kind of dudes. Like
right.
Yeah. Sometimes you look at him, you're like, really? But he's from the same exact city the Bo's from.
Oh, really?
And I swear to all things holy on this world, they kind of resemble each other. Like they gave me like distant cousins. Like Grant's a little. I think Grant looks older. But they talk the freaking same. The same accent, the same cadence, the same everything. Google Grant Cardone. He's got a huge following. He does like this. He actually does his real estate thing in a really odd way. He does like crowdsourced real estate investments. So you
interesting.
It's not really crowdsourced. It's more like you're buying into like it's kind of like the way he does it. Trust me, I'm not giving financial advice. I've never bought into his thing. It's like a mutual fund, right? Basically, you're buying into his real estate investment group, but you're buying into a specific property. And then he'll go and buy a property with everyone's investment, and then you get a split of the profits from the earnings. So he'll buy like basically apartment buildings.
Yeah.
They have like 150 doors, 200 doors, whatever. And then they'll get leased out, and then they turn a profit, and you get a percentage of that profit.
Interesting.
In return. So it's like a mutual fund. So based on how much you invest is how much you get back. And it's not like you're buying a unit. You're actually just buying into this mass purchase. It's a really interesting way for him to do it. Basically, he's investing in this stuff without using his own money. It's quite
interesting.
Actually. But he does have some good stuff. I watched some of his videos. He has some pretty neat. If you're in business, some of his business concepts, like general business, not just specific to real estate, because I'm not in real estate, are pretty good. He's got some good stuff in there. Some good little gold nuggets. He's kind of worth a watch. So.
Then you've also never seen him and Bo in the same room together.
That's true. Like they could be like long lost brothers. Like Google him after we're done with the show, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, he sounds just like Bo." So, But Bo's a good guy. I heard. I don't know if he's still going to do it or not. I know he's maybe thinking at some point going back to the PGA.
Oh, dude, I've been hearing him talk about that for a while too.
Yeah. So looking back, he used to play in the PGA, but he's American Milsim guy, and then he's got a professional golf background.
Dude, this guy for his age. Whew, I wish I could look like that when I get to be his age.
Dude, think of like Southern George Clooney. That's the best way to describe this dude.
Oh yeah.
And,
man. Trim, he's got the silver hair going.
But like the salt and pepper silver hair.
Oh yeah.
And he's got that Southern accent that kind of disarms you, but you can tell he's smart too. But it always takes you down a notch, so you never feel like you're the you're the dumbest person in the room, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Cool guy. Oh, this is the new Strong Zero.
The new one. You know me. You followed the show for a while. You know me and Peach. Peach. It's a love-hate relationship, right? Like I had a bad experience with Peach a long time ago. So,
did you go and find her, and she wasn't in the right castle?
Castle. What the fuck? Stupid little mushroom dude.
Feel you.
All right.
I feel you.
First off, the smell.
Is it like
Legit peach.
punch you in the
Dude,
face kind of?
it's like shoving your face in a peach.
Nice. Nasu.
There's so many things we can do for this thumbnail.
Mm.
Anyway, so yeah, it's very peachy. So, all right. Again, by the way, we don't play around 9%. This isn't like
Yeah.
White Claw or anything like that. So.
And you know it's strong zero, new strong zero, because it says new on the can.
Oh, that's good,
That's a good one.
dude. Mark, for real, bro. You know me in the sweet stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather do whiskeys and things like that. You know, like, but I always grab these for the show because it's kind of our thing. This might be my new favorite.
Oh,
Strong
really?
zero flavor.
Oh.
Like,
Well, I've always been partial to the peach flavor, so I'll be down to try it no matter what.
bro, if you're partial to peach flavor, you got to jump on this one. Grab the
Oh,
one here.
yeah.
Let me spin around. The one that says new across it.
New.
Jump on it. This one is. I can't tell it's 9, man. I just can't.
Like it doesn't even have like the bite you get with like the lemon.
The
one.
lemon, yeah. No. On the back end, it starts like this big peach flavor. So you take a drink. It's this big. Yeah, John pulled the dude and the bro. I did dude and bro in the same sentence, man. You get this huge ride of peach, and then right as the peach dies off, you're expecting that bitter alcohol hit, and it's just sweet. You just get sweet on the back end.
Wow.
And it's gone, and then it goes away.
Man,
Wow.
Santori
do
would
it,
make
man?
a killing if they just imported into the U.S.
Like they would crush like all the White Claws, Bud Light
Yeah.
Limes.
The Four Locos, that just
They'd be just standing there
Yeah,
with their stuff in
they
their
would-
hands, wondering what happened.
yeah, that's right. They just got to do just the few flavors too. The OG, maybe one with the cola, and then the peach
Oh,
one.
the cola, yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this thing's dangerous. I mean, you want to give this to your girl, and it's over. Wow. All right.
Give this to your girl at your own risk.
Yes, exactly. But no, I saw Freedom762 noticed your hoodie there, Mark.
Oh yes, OG.
No, he said more than that. He said the Haka hoodie.
Oh yeah, come on, yeah.
Those
Come
who
on,
play
gotta represent.
Destiny, Mark's much more OG than me. I came in Destiny too.
D1 man, D1 week 1.
D1 week 1. Wow.
Yeah, D1 week 1.
The only thing I
That's
can lay
right.
claim to like early on is like Warcraft. I don't know if that's something I want to lay claim to. World of Warcraft, like right when it dropped. But
Cotito asked a question. Never dumb.
no, never. Done.
That is like a beer with peach. It's not a beer. It's a Chuhai, so it's like a mixed drink. So it's got like, I'm sure it's got peach liqueur, and maybe some vodka in it, and
Yeah,
it's like
so-
a fizzy drink.
Yeah. So what they
it's
do is
no beer in it at all.
you can order these chuhais at bars all over Japan, and
Yep.
they will usually have some kind of fruit. They'll mash it up in there, or a fruit, like you said, a fruit puree syrup or something.
Mm-hmm.
Soda water, ice cubes, and then some sort of soju, vodka, some kind of hard liquor spirit. So it ends up
Yeah.
being like north of a beer. Most of these, if you order them at the bar, they're like 8, 9, 10% ish.
For
So
sure.
there's no beer taste at all. Like literally, it's like you were drinking a peach soda. They're usually lightly sweet. They're not heavy sweet. That's the thing too. Like none of these have like this sugary, syrupy, over the top, like crazy sweet flavor. So they're just slightly sweet, and you drink it, and you're like, because once it's done, it just goes away. But like the flavor, they always nail the flavors.
Yeah. I guess you can call it maybe like a cocktail in a can, but it's more just like a
Hard to
not
say.
it's not as much like as a cocktail in a can, but yeah, they do mix some stuff into it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a hoppy, it's not a beer. You won't get any of the beer flavoring in it. I think the closest approximation, the closest thing, if I have to describe what it is, would be like a gin tonic with like a fruity flavor.
Yeah, maybe,
Without the gin taste, but that's kind of what you can expect.
Oh, Cotito's doing beer making. I did that for a long time, man. That is a expensive but fun hobby to do. I never got great at it. I was okay. Basically, you end up giving away your beer to a lot of friends. So I went down the whole
make
path.
a lot
man.
of it.
I ended up getting like the kegs with like the tap system and like because I got tired of like finding bottles and
You're
trying to
all
bottle
in.
them. I went all in, man. Like it was definitely like stair steps, right? You start off small. You're like, I'm going to get a home brew kit. And you get the little plastic kit you get for cheap, and you make it. You're like, wow, I made beer. This is so cool, and it tastes. It's okay. It's drinkable.
You convince yourself. Oh, okay, this is beer. All right.
And you're
right.
like, okay, this tastes like, oh, this is drinkable. It's doable. I can do this. Well, let me look into this. This can be a fun hobby, right? And you start going. You're like, oh, I'll get some of these like pre-made kits, but I'll buy the hardware. Like go outside and you got to cook it and all that. Next thing you know, you're like doing research. You're like, I got to buy this imported grain from here. And oh, excuse me, sir, do you have this hops and this strain from this lab, or this yeast from this lab and special lab in Colorado? I need this precise strain. Like you're doing like all kinds of crazy mad scientist recipes, and you're just like out there like measuring, with your beakers and stuff, and you're like timing it to the last second. Like I got to take this thing off right when you're boiling. You're like the witch's kettle in the backyard. 'Cause you're making like 6 gallons at a time. You're making like 24 liters of this stuff at once, 20 to 24 liters. And then you like open your closet door and you got like 5 of these, what they call carboys. These look like huge water jugs that just glass. They're corked off and they're all like bubbling and spouting out weird slimy foamy crap because it's like in different stages of fermentation.
Yeah, yeah.
So you constantly have like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 100 liters of beer in some stage tucked away in the darkest corners of your home. It's pretty wild. Now mead I heard is pretty fun.
Yeah, see, Private Bumpkin got the right idea. I was about to say this too. Like, when I eventually move into a bigger property, that's something that I would like to get into as well. Doing mead. I watched this video. I forgot it was on Epicurus or one of those channels on YouTube, and they're interviewing these guys who do craft mead, almost like craft beer, and then how they would blend it, ferment it a certain way, use different honeys, the different kind of honeys that they use. They produce a different type of flavor depending on the fermentation and how they brew it. And I was like, oh man, this is really, really cool. And so that's something that I would love to get into as well. Like at least try, because like I've always enjoyed drinking mead and I can't get any of that here. So
no, you're gonna be able to find it. I don't know. I think here in Taiwan, I'm not sure if it's illegal to brew your own beer. I don't think it is.
really,
So,
I mean, not even as like a hobby thing.
I
Like
think so.
there's no brewing beer class that you can go to, or
I don't think so. There's like some handful of craft breweries, but you could just tell, like anybody who's at a craft brewery here, like they for sure learned in the West somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that's interesting. Yeah. So he's doing 40 liters at a time, man. You're doing the big boy. You're doing like double carboys on your foot. That's some serious batching right there, man. But you can you get like 3 weeks or so. You can have two-ish to 3-ish, depending on what your alcohol percentage is and what, what type of beer you're making. You can have it done. But I would spend like an entire Saturday in the backyard, like cooking, like literally cooking.
Right.
But it's like you're making bread. It's like precise. You're like measuring this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like you would end up like I would have a batch of like some crazy IPA that I've got to like. And then that one you have like a calendar, like I got to put hops in and this time, like all these special hops. And I mean, it costs a fortune, but it's a fun hobby.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. If anything, Cotito, I'm pretty sure you got some other friends you can ask to come over to your house and drink your beer, and I'm sure they'll be completely fine with it.
Oh yeah, you end up with some good friends. If you're like my neighbors were always like, I mean, I would literally be like, hey man, I got a 6er for you, or hey, I would have like basically I would just buy the little growlers, like the little to-go canister. Like, all right, hey, this is yours. When it's empty, just tell me. I'm gonna fill it back up for you. Like, I don't care if it's tomorrow. Just tell me and I'll fill it back up.
I'll fill it back up.
Like, just like, bro, you don't know what I got. Like, I got like I can start my own bar in here, So all my neighbors ended up like realizing like, dude, I got free beer all the time. They're like, and they would give me feedback. So I'm like, yeah, like this one. But have we ever made moonshine? No, I've never done moonshine.
Moonshine, it sounds incredibly simple, but also incredibly scary. To do,
because it can explode.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking like super high proof alcohol and fire. That's scary. But yeah, moonshine is legal in some places. Yeah, you can make it. Although I've had some really good moonshine though. Like really good, proper, like backyard, old school, you know,
Made in a bathtub somewhere, you know, by a lady
bootlegger
called
type.
Mary Sue.
No, man, they're like, yeah, exactly. Like these are like not bathtub gin, but like copper still in the woods kind of like setups, man, or in the
Dude, it's
barn.
just as bad. How you making it sound like it's just as bad? Okay, it's this here honey is brewed in our old brass spittoon, and we don't spit in it anymore. But
Yeah.
it comes out very nicely.
But man, I tell you, the homebrew stuff I've had is far better than stuff you can buy in the stores, hands down.
Oh
I've not had
yeah,
any moonshine from a store that's come remotely close to somebody's homebrew.
for sure. For sure. I think the only really, really good experience I had with moonshine was I'll always remember I was in Arkansas and we had this guy had a jar of it was like it looked like a jar of cherries,
Yeah.
and it was this beautiful red crimson red
Big
colored.
mason jar.
Yeah.
The glass jar with that metal lid, and you take the top lid off,
Yeah.
and it's got the little disc. You have to still pop the disc off.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's a just beautiful clear glass jar. It's all red. And he's, oh, you want a little bit of this? Okay, never had it up until that point. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. And so it was like a shot glass, and then he poured it this red liquid, redder than this, by the way. It's like red, and he pulls the cherry out, and the cherry is green by this point. I think just like all the liquor has sucked out all the color from the cherry. It smelled phenomenal. It smelled like so good. And then, so what he said was, you take the shot and then you eat the cherry, right? So
I
the
know where this
shot
is
itself-
going, and I know
the
what your
shot
story. I
itself-
can't wait for this.
The shot itself was actually not bad. I thought the shot itself got a bite to it, got some fire,
But
just yeah. But when you drink the shot, all of it's in your mouth, and then I bite into that cherry. Oh my God! All the alcohol is in the cherry, and it just I don't know whether to spit or like my mouth started to burn. Yeah, it was a bit much. It was a very jarring experience, but it was good.
Yep,
I spit the seed back out, and then they're all like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" He's like,
Yeah.
"That was pretty good. Huh? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna be okay."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so like Bumpkin was saying he's done the peach. I've had peach, and probably the best one I ever had. I've had cherry. There's that one because like what happens is people will know someone who has a still, right? So they'll get a jar of pure moonshine, which is nuts. Like the alcohol content's like 95%. It's something crazy, right? And then they take it and they mix it down with their own flavors. So what you're getting from. So because it's just undrinkable in its natural level. So
Oh yeah.
you mix it down like Mark had with the cherries. I've had the cherry one. I knew where you're going. You said the cherry story. I'm like, oh, the fruit. I don't know what it is about the fruit. Just like an alcohol magnet. There's something about it. Just is like,
sucks in all the alcohol.
yeah, it just is like, oh, here. I don't know if they soak the cherries in the moonshine first.
Oh, I wouldn't
Then
be
they add the
surprised.
syrup and the sugar and all this stuff later. I don't know. But the apple pie one I had, it was like there were apples in it, like the cinnamon and just the flavor. Oh my, I could have drank that all night. However, you get a couple of those in you and you are a couple shots. We were just
Yeah.
passing the jar around, man. This stuff, alcohol is so high, it'll kill anything. There's no fear. Like I had nowhere. I'm like, I'm not going to catch anything.
That's so
like,
true.
Like the smells
so
come off.
true.
You're like, there's nothing can survive this. There's nothing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was quite good. That was really good.
Mm. Now, here's the funny thing. Now, on the flip side, you've been to the Philippines, right?
Mhm.
So, have you ever had their homemade coconut wine?
Ooh.
That literally that they make in the back in the old bathtubs.
Nope.
So, I was in a video. I'm not in a video. I was. I was.
Well,
Wow. Okay. I was
what
not in a
website can we
video.
find this video on, Mark? I bet you it's not
Yikes.
YouTube.
Oh my goodness. I was not.
Does
in
it
a
start
video.
with a P?
P.
Or maybe X? I don't know.
It's the hamster one. No,
Oh, yeah, the hamster one.
no.
Sorry, no hamsters allowed in Hong Kong anymore.
No hamsters allowed here, man.
Oh
Like
my
they're a public enemy number one. No. So I was there for a trip, and then some of these old fishermen guys were like, "Hey, you got to try this. Like this is our coconut wine." I'm like, okay. So they give you this thing, this glass, this glass like that, regular glass, and they pour this gross looking kind of amber color liquid in this glass, and it's got chunks of coconut still in it because you can still see like a bit of a bit of like the stringy of the husk, and they do have some
Yeah,
pieces
like
of
the husk, like the brown part of the husk and
yeah.
everything.
There's a little bit of it in
They're
there.
not even
I mean,
scraping
'cause-
out the white. They're
yeah.
just like throwing there.
I mean,
like,
they have the
this-
white, and they have some white in there too. I mean, you can see like when they got it, there's just a little bit of the crap there. Clearly, they didn't run it through a sieve or anything, but they just poured it out. It smelled like fermented sour coconut that's been out in the sun for too long.
That does not sound good.
It's not a pleasant smell. Like, you'd want to gag. But I was like, okay, these people, they're all standing around me now. I'm screwed now. So
They're watching the foreigner.
yeah, so I took a sip, and I think it was just the opposite thing, the moonshine. This thing smelled disgusting. But it tastes pretty good. I have to say, it was very sweet, because I think it was all the sugar from the fermentation process, and it was really sweet. Bit of a bite at the end, kind of a burn in your throat, but it was very sweet, and it was definitely coconut. And yeah, after that I was like, okay, no more. I'll drink all the Red Horse with you that you can have, but no more of that.
Yeah,
whatever
none of
that
that.
was.
That's dangerous, man, because you can't
Yeah.
pace yourself. You don't know what the percentage is. That's the kind of stuff that'll creep up on you. Like, definitely creep up on you.
Yep.
What was the worst? Let's see. Fraternity days. Since we're telling stories about drinking.
So
We're going-
Private Pumpkin says, it's a myth that some people go blind. I'm not even drinking. It's make the ethanol, not alcohol. That's what make you go blind. If it doesn't kill you first.
No, actually, to be honest, I witnessed one of my friends go nearly like blind in a different way. His vision tunneled down. He was drinking Everclear, PGA, and he was doing PGA with not direct shots. Obviously, just burn your throat, like your esophagus. But he was doing like a Everclear lemonade, and he just drank at such a high concentration too quickly. And for about 20, 30 minutes, he goes, I can't freaking see except for just unless you're directly, absolutely in front of me. I think it's something to do with like your pupils dilate. I don't know what it is, but something, or capillaries, blood flow. But yeah, it did affect him. I don't know if it's early sign of alcohol poisoning, something like that. But yeah, we definitely, like Pumpkin said, like it doesn't kill you first. We gave him a lot of water. A lot of water to make him feel better. This is back in college days, man. This is it was during one of the UT. Funny thing, carryover from last week is one of the UTK games we were watching on the TV when Manning was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
of course. Oh my goodness.
yeah, but I remember that it was in his apartment too.
Oh, he's talking about permanent blindness.
Oh no, permanent.
Okay.
It's temporary. Yeah, temporary blindness. Yeah.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is just temporary. I mean, like I said, it lasted maybe 20, 30 minutes. Once he got a sufficient amount of, I think, water and started flushing, hydrating himself a little bit, flushing the alcohol, getting it processed through his kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
It recovered. He got it back. He was freaking out.
Yeah.
Like he was like,
space out those drinks with a couple of waters, man.
yeah,
It
one
will
drink,
help you go.
2 waters. Pace yourself.
And I don't know. People have always said either eat like whatever, something with bread or greasy food. It'll help you. To be honest, I think as long as you eat something and then you pace yourself with a couple of waters, you can go all night.
Yeah.
And always go up when you drink. Always go up. Don't go back down.
The strength.
Yeah, the strength.
Yeah.
So like if you start with a beer, you go to wine and then spirits.
Stay in spirits.
Yeah. When you're there, don't go back down to beers.
It is, man. I don't know. I'm getting to the point now where even at business functions, if I've controlled the situation, I will. And this is some pro tip for those of you who get stuck in a situation. If you're at a business function or whatever, and you got one of those guys like you got a client, you got a coworker, you got a boss that loves like, hey, we're gonna get drinks, drinks, right? Try to control the situation. If they're gonna buy shots, say, hey man, I'm not a tequila fan, but do you mind if I go get? I like something clear, preferably, or something with soda. I like my whiskey sodas, right? So go to the bartender, slide him some money, whatever the appropriate tip is. Say, hey, look, I gotta get back to normal. Like you can even tell the bartender like, hey, I gotta like kind of manage this situation tonight. I gotta maybe even drive home later. So tell the bartender, make mine virgins. So like I'm gonna order whiskey Coke, just make it Coke and put a cherry in mine. Say I always want a cherry. Just pick something weird that nobody like an orange slice or something that nobody would normally do. So you know it's yours. And you can kind of tell the bartender that. And then they will be cool with it. They trust me. I give them a little cash, you know, like a little extra tip there, like, hey man, help me out. I mean, they probably do it anyway, but you know, it's kind of a nice gesture. I think it's important to kind of like, you know, help them out. Because that means they're going to have to be aware of the situation and be paying attention of who's getting drinks. And I've done that. And let me tell you what, you can outlast so many. I've had some fantastic client meetings where I've been like the sober guy in the room, like just lightly buzzed, just kind of chilling. Everybody else is getting trad. I'm like, all right. So I like, and you can kind of
sign here, quick.
Yeah,
sign
yeah. Hey,
here.
well, I got, no, you can't get him to sign with a drunk, but it gives you a good advantage, and also lets you look respectable in the eyes of a lot of your clients. Now, if they're bringing drinks to the table and hand them to you, and they're all the same thing, I think this trick would not work in Japan.
Oh yeah, this would be almost nigh impossible.
Or if you're in like mainland or whatever, somebody's got the bottle on the table and they're pouring shots. It's not easy to do, you know. You can't really do that. But I think in a lot of places, you can definitely get by.
Yeah. I think that's easier to do out west than here in Asia. That's for sure. I think like the I guess the drinking culture here is so much more like a bit of one-upsmanship. And a bit of the Asian culture of like, you know, I don't care if you're treating or I'm treating, I'm going to try to be the host to you and you're going to try to out-host the other person, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's a little harder to do here for sure. Here, you really got to have to watch yourself, like pace yourself. Don't be afraid to let it sit.
Yeah.
Right. What I used to do with...
Take that drink with you to the bathroom. Be like, hey, guys, see you in a minute. I got to the bathroom. You know, I was like...
Yeah. Or you can wait for the opportune time and switch. I'll say, I'm guilty of that. I've done it where I have switched drinks with an empty drink with an empty glass next to me, and then I'll just pour whatever liquid in there and just drink whatever liquid and just put it down, and then they'll be like, oh, whose is that? I'm like, oh, this person left.
Yeah, I don't know who was it. They left it. I don't know who did this. Who's the party foul?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I can't be the one getting trashed and stuff like that. So it's no good.
Nelson's got a tip. From his dad's days as a fireman. Pure oxygen. That would definitely, I think, sober you up, or at least help you out.
So next time we're at SHOT Show, John, we gotta get like a bottle of oxygen.
Like they sell those, by the way. Have you not seen those? You could buy like a little mini tank with a little mask, and you can like run around and take hits. Yeah, pure oxygen.
Oh yeah.
I think the oxygen bars too, which I always. Oxygen bars are weird to me because
what's weird to me though. Like when you can get in Vegas where you have like the IV bus where you can get on the bus and get your IV. That is the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, there's a lot of weird things in Vegas, but that's like by far the weirdest.
Oh, you can take it a step further. In Vegas, you can actually call a nursing assistant to your hotel room to give you an IV to sober up. So for those who don't know, for real,
somehow that's not as weird as getting to a bus with a bunch of other drunks, having an IV standing there.
So yeah, if you want to like, basically it's like, I don't know about drunks, but like from the hangover, like the hangover cure, right?
Yeah.
Really it's a hydration issue, vitamin depletion issue. It's a lot of things, right? But from what I understand, I've never done this because I don't know if I want to get my needle jammed in my hand. But if you had a really rough night and you wake up and you feel like you got hit by a bus, you can get on the bus and by far, absolutely go get your IV. And it's like a B vitamin. It's like a multivitamin hydration IV drip. And you'll be right as rain, back to normal.
Wow, there's some things. It's just, no. No.
Yeah.
Like if you're ever at that state in life, I hope that you sit there in the IV bus and you contemplate what life decisions that I have made to lead me to this part.
However, if I was in a business meeting and I was with clients and they forced 20 drinks down my throat or whatever over the course of like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, and I woke up the next morning hating life, I would not discount the IV bus.
Well, if I had to go to another meeting, I mean,
yeah.
Oh, well.
Because that's like Vegas. When we go to Vegas, we're usually there for work, right? So we have to be Like,
You gotta be smart.
you got to be like on your A game during the day because you're doing like video production. Like you're like Mark and I are both in front of the camera, behind or both. You know, typically both or at least in front. So you got to be like able to deliver
Yes.
full clarity. You do the day, then you got to go out and do dinners, and then drinks, and then find a way to do a gracious exit so you're not offending anybody.
You know, to be honest, I think SHOT Show, the January trade show in Vegas, I think it's easier to deal with if you're a first timer in our industry and you get an opportunity to go. I think it is easier to deal with and easier to handle than the one in Germany.
Why would you say that?
Here's the reason why. They don't serve alcohol on the show floor.
That is true. Well, not true.
Well, how to put this? Maybe the people in which I've seen run around with a drink during SHOT Show is so minuscule and so minute compared to Germany. Germany, you can wake up at 7 o'clock, go to the cafeteria and buy a beer. There will be people drinking at 7 o'clock.
And it's AM, by the way, not PM. It's
So I'm saying, like,
0700 for those on military time.
If you're a young guy going to the show in Germany, and a lot of these European guys, they're used to it, and then they're very personable and they're very nice and they want to buy you all the drinks. Trust me, it's easy to kind of fall into it and be like, oh yeah, at 9 o'clock I'll crack a beer, and you'll be trashed by like 1.
Yeah.
Never happened to me, I swear, but I've seen it.
I tell you, by the way, I'll give you the SHOT Show challenge, because if you don't think that's possible at SHOT Show, you, my friend, need to go to SHOT Show with my co-host from years ago, Steve.
Oh, Steve. Yeah,
Steve is the beer fairy, and I've called him the beer fairy. So Steve has this superpower, right? Well, he's 2 superpowers. He can talk to literally anyone. Like, absolutely, like, and I'm personal. I can talk to anybody. But Steve, there is no boundaries for this guy. And not intrusive. Like, he literally will, like, in the matter of 5 minutes, have, like, the business card of any CEO anywhere and, like, be invited to, like, the guy's ski lodge for the winter. Like, he's that level of personable. And it's not like him scamming either. It's just Steve's superpower, right?
Just everybody loves Steve. When you meet Steve, you'll get it.
You do. I mean, like, it's just like, Steve... He'll make fun of everybody, and you can make fun of him, and, like, nothing offends anybody. He's just, like, the absolute coolest dude to ever hang out with, period.
Yeah, agreed.
The other thing about Steve is he's the beer fairy. No matter where he is, or I've called him that. I've called him the beer bloodhound before. A couple different words or different names I've given him. Regardless, the man will disappear. Like, we'll be filming. I'll turn. I'm like, where the Steve go? I'm like, we're filming. He's gone. I'm like, I need him like to help me set. I'm like, no worries. He'll just disappear. Right. I'm setting up for another shot. Right. I'm doing video filming at SHOT Show. I think gone for 10 minutes and come back and be like, hey, and just like double fist beer me. I'm like, what? He goes, hang on, I gotta grab some more. I'm like, dude,
you found the beer
2 in the afternoon. How'd you find the? And it's never the cheap stuff. He's like, yeah, man, I know you like IPA, man. I got you like I know. Wait, this is a Lagunitas. You like Lagunitas? I'm like, that's my favorite beer. How'd you find it? How'd you find a Lagunitas at 2 in the afternoon on the SHOT Show floor? He's like, yeah, they had them over.
Oh, they're over there.
I'm like, and it's draft. Like, the guy has a superpower. I'm telling you, it is. Like, he's like the best buddy a guy could have. Is like, how do you do this consistently?
Man, maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people.
And he always has 2. He always will come back with at least 2. Be like, hey, he always thinks of you. He's like, here. And if another one was like, oh, yeah, I'll be right back. And, like, there'll be a line of 50 people, like, queued up for, like, whatever that beer thing is. I've gone over there. And, like, in 2 seconds later, he's back with 2 more. I'm like, how'd you do it? He's like, oh, I made friends with the girl who's pouring the beer. I'm like, so you just cut the... It's like, no, she told me to come up to the front. And I gave me 2 more. I'm like, you've been gone
Steve,
for 10 minutes.
What a legend. I love this guy.
like Steve is, like, I just... The guy, like... He has this charisma about him. We've got actually, and on that note, we have to get Steve on the show now.
We do have to get Steve on the show.
We've got to get Steve on.
We got to get Steve. That's for sure. We've teased the Steve enough.
Yeah, I think the Steve and somebody else we need to get on the show in the future. The Mitch.
Mitch. We need to get the Mitch, not Mitch. We
Not
don't want
Mitch.
Mitch on the show. We want
We
the
gotta get
Mitch
we
on the
gotta
show.
get Mitch to turn into the Mitch on the show.
Yes.
So these are two future guests. Like basically, I mean, you guys know this show. It's basically just a bunch of guys. All of us. It's guys, girls. We're a room full of friends hanging out here. Like we're chatting with you guys in the chat. You know, Kotito's telling. I'm reading Kotito's chat like my liver would have closed down based on his story. But like it's just
man.
all of us hanging out. Like we were all like that's what I love about this show. It's just a bunch of people hanging out, having a good time chatting and drinking some
That's
drinks.
right. Gotta love it.
Speaking of that, I got something else.
Oh, the Wagyu flavored chips, not Wagyu chips, Wagyu flavored chips.
Yeah, all I can read is Japanese beef flavor. Those are the words I can read. I don't know what those three words are.
I think so. The first two, I think it just means seared.
Okay, because that's fire. I know that's the word for fire. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I think it just means seared. And then the one next to beef, it just means like those two put together, it just Wagyu.
Oh, Wagyu. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
all right. So I'm curious. I saw that. Usually don't fall for it. By the way, Ruffles makes this truffle one here I love. But I'm curious of like, how do you make it taste like Wagyu? Like how like?
Did you guys have strawberry flavored potato chips? Okay, like come on.
They still have been stocked, by the way. I saw them again. I'm like,
This is the tamest thing you brought on the show for a while.
oh hey man, I busted the top. Whoa!
Hey, it's all that work at the gym,
Dude, I'm
bro.
telling you, man,
It's
gym's
all
paying
that work
off,
at the
bro.
gym.
Let me tell you what. You want to flex here for a girl? Open up a bag of chips with your hand.
Baby, let me get this bag of
you're
chips for you.
Oh, whoa! That's like
Okay. You like that? You like
Yeah.
that, honey? You like that?
all right. Not bad.
It's more of like a light barbecue flavor, isn't it?
No. So it's the beef, but not over the top. There's a little garlic and onion in there. You can taste it. It's got a little sweet, and then you get that char flavor.
Because we have like a Wagyu beef flavored potato chip here too. And then to be honest, it just tastes like steak seasoning on your chips. That's really all it does. All it is.
I guess you could say that. I guess if you want to if you want to burst my bubble, then
I mean, I don't think it's bursting the bubble.
No.
I just think like that's the most
Then
apt
I'm
way
over there
of putting it.
looking at my spice rack. I got the McCormick's, Montreal
Yeah.
steak seasoning. I'm going. It's like Montreal steak seasoning with a little sweetness. Maybe so.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, if you don't like the full blown barbecue chips, this is actually pretty good.
There, it's the sweetness that makes them barbecue.
Oh, Katito got a good question. Have you ever flexed on something that you didn't know you were flexing?
Yeah, that you did or didn't know was a flex.
Didn't know was a flex.
Didn't know was a flex.
Without knowing what you did was a flex.
Without knowing that she was a flex. I don't know. What would that be? I'm trying to think. Doing a flex without knowing it was a flex.
Doing a flex without knowing that it was a flex.
Pumpkin's like, do you like that? Slowly rolls shoulder in pain. You're describing my life, man.
Yeah. Ouch.
That north of 40, like, oh, every time I leave the gym, I'm like, there's the muscle pain and there's this other pain. It's that, oh, wait. What was that? I don't know. What would that be? What would be a flex that you didn't know was a flex? I'm trying to think. Nothing I can think of. I try to keep pretty low key, actually. If I'm gonna flex, it's usually like literally like popping chips in a very ironic way, right? But
One time I was with some of my video game buddies, and we were talking about not being able to buy clothes, and bunch of my friends, they're just regular dudes, and this is me, I think pre-COVID. I was pretty trim. I was still playing on the offensive side of the ball, so I was more trim at the time. And then I said, yeah, it was pretty difficult for me to buy clothes too. Everything here is so tight. And then everyone looked at me, it's like, yeah, sure, Mr. Size Small. I was like, oh, no, that's not what I meant.
Maybe that would be, I guess that could be an accidental flex on me too. It's like, yeah, everything here's so short, you know, like I can't find
Yeah.
shirts or, you know, like shirts or pants that are long enough here. Unless I go with Western brands.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just different body structure,
Yeah.
you know? Like, at least in my experience, like for me, being Caucasian, my arms are longer, my legs are longer, my torso's shorter. So it messes everything up.
One time,
But Asian, at least from what I've noticed, longer torso, shorter arms, even if they're the same height as me, my wingspan's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
So when you go to buy Asian fit clothes, like, yeah, the torso's like extra long. I'm like, cool, that fits great. It's a little extra more. And then like the sleeves don't fit at all.
Sleeves
Like
are too short,
like here. I'm like, what the? Like you try going shopping at Uniqlo and you're like, what the freak? Why are all the sleeves this long?
Yeah. Or then like your sleeves would fit, but then everything's too big.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That's for sure. Or one time I was actually having a conversation with somebody. I had long sleeves on, and oh yeah, I remember. I was out having a few drinks, and these two girls sitting next to me was talking about getting tattoos. That was some time ago, and then they're saying that one girl was trying to tell the other girl, oh, it doesn't hurt. You know, tattoos don't hurt. Don't worry about it. You know, it's all good. And blah, blah, blah. And so I got a point. I just turned. I said, well, let me be frank. You know, this part actually feels like, you know, if you get cut with like a hot needle, this part's actually very painful. This one will vibrate you to your bones. And they all looked at me like, what do you know? I'm like,
you're
okay,
like,
you know. And so I at that, this is the part where I didn't know. Like, I didn't think about flexing, right? I didn't even think about it after that. They just kind of, okay, thanks, huh? And then so I just took off my jacket, and then they looked at me like,
oh,
yeah, maybe I know a little bit.
For those who don't know, Mark's got a full sleeve,
Both arms
on both. Have you finished the other one? You've inked and colored the other one.
One last session. I have one last sitting on my right arm
For line.
I have
shading.
I have shading. I have one large water lily right here that's going to cover the rest. It's a redo of what I had underneath. Long story, but I have a water lily that's supposed to sit here. Then it'll finish off my complete right side. I don't ever have to do it again. So yeah. So I have on my left side, I have a sleeve that comes up to my shoulder, and it goes all the way down to my right here, a little bit above my wrist. And same thing for my left arm. My right side starts on the bottom of my chest, goes all throughout my shoulder, and then to here.
Wow.
Yeah. It hurts.
I can imagine.
Every time.
I can imagine.
Every time I sit there and I look at my boy who does my tattoos, I'm like, ouch.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
this really hurts. You know, I'm like, bro, this really hurts. He's like, you know, every time the second hour in, you tell me this all the time.
There's nothing you can do about it. You can't take like pain meds or anything that's gonna mitigate it. Bumpkin said grandmother ordered a triple extra large jacket, not knowing it's from Japan, and it fits his large size frame. I would believe that. I will tell you, I typically, if I order anything from, if it's like mainland China or maybe Japan sizes, I have to size up at least 2 to 3 sizes. So.
Yeah. So, and it's funny, like when I go shop, I don't know about when you got that jacket, but when you go shopping in Japan, especially in some of the more bigger stores like Nike, Adidas, or H&M, I know Zara does it as well. They will have shirts with a tag that says specifically Japanese fit.
Yeah,
or
no,
Japanese size.
Here we have, they'll say Asia fit, even like big.
Oh, they don't do it
like,
here. Yeah.
Really? Because like Lululemon will have specific like Asia fit stuff. I've noticed. Oh, where was I the other day? And they had Asia fit. And I was like, wow, you guys do Asia fit? Oh, like Gap had some Asia fit stuff.
Okay.
Like, so you buy the, like, I'll get my jeans at the Gap here because it's one of the few, like, Gap, Levi's, things like that. But they actually have Asian fit thing. So like when you order or you go there, the tag will be like Asia Fit or Special Asia. Like for example, the yoga stuff like Lululemon.
Yeah.
They'll have like 50 items, like 50 leggings, and like 5 or 6 will be Asia Fit. They're like shorter. They have like a higher waist to cover the longer torso. They're specifically designed. And I remember I did a video with what was it? Smith. Years and years and years ago, Smith Optics. They reached out to me. And actually, I'd worked with them on something. They sent me some boogie regulators, and I was like, "Well, you got an Asian Fit one. Let me do a comparison video." I got a friend of mine who's Filipino American. We'll do. I got a great concept for a video, so I did it. This is probably 8 years ago, 9, whatever. So I did an Asia Fit, US Fit comparison because they were the first like pro level military optic, and the boogie regulators that were like super popular for a while. So they were low profile like slim goggles.
They never fit me perfectly. No, it never fit me well because all the ones here were Asian Fit.
Right. Yeah. So you have the Asian Fit, which actually have less of a curve. So what happens is if you have the Asian Fit one, you're going to gap here.
Yeah.
But if you have more Asian face geometry, it's going to gap here, and you're not going to get a good seal. So you have to buy the right one for the right face. And I covered all the differences, and it was like nobody's ever done a video like this before. And I was like, well, why not? Like, well, just nobody ever thought of it, or they're worried about it. I'm like, well, this is just a buying decision video, right? So you don't end up with the wrong one, or you have customers that are maybe Filipino American, Taiwanese American, whatnot, and they're like buying the wrong one, and you end up with a return or an unhappy customer.
Yeah.
And it turned out really good. I mean, they were super happy. They didn't pay me for it or anything, but it was like they were super happy with it. And I think it turned out good too.
They don't have like the Asia Fit signs here because it's just all Asian Fit here.
Oh, really? So they don't cover
it's just they don't do Western Fit. It's like so it's very difficult for me, and it's very difficult for the producer to find clothes here. So the producer is taller than me by like a quarter of an inch, and she's got very very long legs, very long arms. Hey, Jono,
your producer reminds me she's the same build as my sis was. Pre-kid. Hopefully my sis not watching. I'm talking trash about her post-kid. But no, like, because my sis was like a volleyball player, through her young life and all that. So like she and like her and your producer both have like almost the exact same body type. I was like, that's my sis, right? Can't fit nothing.
It's difficult for her because like she can't find jeans that fit well because when you play volleyball you have so much load bearing on your hips and on your thighs, and a lot of the jeans here, because they're Asian Fit, it's hard to find something with a small waist but the round your butt. It's unlike the US where they do have these cuts where it's like a teeny tiny waist.
You get the small waist and then you get the curve, right? You get the hips.
So it's very difficult for her to find that. It's also very difficult for her to find shirts that are long enough on the bottom because her shoulders are quite broad.
Yeah, so what would normally drape and give you length because the shoulders are broader. Like that's the issue I run into. Like my shoulders are, like even Western clothes, like shoulders are broad. So you'll find I'm wearing mostly Western brands. Like this is a British brand. So like I'll end up with what fits me fine here. Ends up being like here, like this the seam on the shoulders like here, and I need it like right at the top of my shoulder cap, and I run into that same problem. So if you have like the broad shoulder issue, but the tiny waist, like your producer,
she's got that same issue where because she's got the broad shoulders, tiny waist, long arms. Every shirt she has is almost like a crop top because they're just not long enough.
It's like me buying T-shirts at Uniqlo.
She goes one size up, then
they're wide.
The sleeves are too long,
and the body's too wide.
Yeah, and I have the same problem. I have the same problem where I cannot fit. I just cannot go buy dress shirts now. The only place I can buy a dress shirt is Uniqlo. Believe it or not.
Really?
Where's Uniqlo? Yeah,
no, it's weird though. I'll tell you this. Uniqlo. There's some of their shirts, like I have one of their dress shirts, and I love it. It's freaking it fits me perfect. Sleeves are just a touch short, but I'll just roll them a little bit. I always roll my dress shirts.
I can live with their sleeves. They're somehow they're XL.
But man, I'm telling you, for me, I've got I've got kind of long arms. Like even just for Caucasian
Yeah.
genetic background. So it makes it even harder for me. So it's like, crud, like,
Yeah.
so by the time I get my like sleeve length, that's why when dress shirts, it's good. I can go like, I get a 15 and a half, and I can do it. But even then, if I get the right sleeve lengths, I usually have to get the body taken in or at least stitched up.
Yeah.
Went from talking about alcohol to like bar tricks to now we're talking about like fashion,
Hey, it's a good podcast.
Hey, but for real though, like one of the biggest tips is, and a lot of guys don't do this, because it's not that expensive. Like, absolutely, if you go buy an off the rack shirt, go get it tailored. Most like clothing shops or even the shops you can get it from will do some like minor tailoring work. If it's just like the sleeves, everything work, and the back is just the body's just too big, have them run 2 little stitches. They gather the material and they run 2 stitches down the back, and it will give you more of that V shape, which is that aesthetically pleasing for men, that V shape, right? Instead of having that boxy shirt that makes you just like, come straight down, it just brings it in a little bit. And you're going to go, well, Jonathan, I haven't been in the gym in a while. I'm maybe, carrying a few extra around the spare tire. I know. And this thing, the trick is you still do it and it will still give you that V shape. It'll bring it in. So if it's a little bit, it'll bring it down in. And even though you've carried, it'll make you look so much trimmer. For just something so simple. They just put a stitch that like starts about halfway down your back, down both sides, and they'll just stitch it. And they grab a little bit of cloth and bring it in, and they stitch it, and it just stays there. So if you want to let it out, they can just take the stitches out.
Yeah. You know what I always found very good too? Like the closest to tailor fit that I've ever seen for an off the rack shirt is Zara has their tailor fit series is really good. I mean, if you want to pay a little bit extra, it would be about like $20-$25, for a dress shirt. But they're really good. Like they will hold shape. They look like they're fitted. When I used to have to wear a suit to work, I would get a bunch of these dress shirts, different assorted colors, and people always ask me who my tailor was, and I was like, Zara, man.
You got lucky. Like whoever the model they use for that fit is like, it's you.
So perfect. I actually have some tailored shirts that Red Wolf, the day job, got for us. Those don't fit. I can't even button the chest button anymore. Like I can only button it to about here, and that's it. I cannot get any higher than here on these shirts. Like I try to button it, and then I have to button it like this. And the moment I stand back up, I pop this button open.
Bink.
Yeah. So bit of a flex. There's my flex.
There's
right
your flex.
There. There's my flex for you. Made me feel real good. Not gonna lie.
So that would be it. Yeah, the clothing thing, I'm not going to say go get custom tailored. I did get some tailored shirts here.
Oh, while we're on the clothing thing, I do want to give out, I know some of the guys that are watching us are younger guys. I want to give you guys a bit of advice. Make
As we
sure
sit here in hoodies.
Hey, come on, man. I'm also wearing my PJs and very festive Christmassy socks. Look, in your social media feed. Yeah, I'm wearing pants. Because I don't know if I have to stand up, right? So like in your social media, when you're following stuff, make sure you at least follow 1 or 2 men's fashion accounts. Not saying you have to go follow everything that these guys wear, but to give you an idea, right? Like I always like to pick and choose. So I follow several different kind of Zara men accounts, European fashion accounts, and just gives me an idea of like, okay, just kind of think about what I'm wearing.
I do too.
When I'm going out. So it helps you with styling your hair and, matching your clothes, stuff like that. If sometimes you're not so conscious about these things, just follow 1 or 2 accounts and they'll show up on your feed every once in a while, give you some food for thought. Do that. I mean, you don't want to end up kind of like where I was one time. I was like a 25-year-old. Due to the stresses of work, I dressed and I looked like I was 36. So
I was there too. I mean, I really didn't start following these accounts until a couple of years ago myself. And it's made a big change for me too. I think to kind of elaborate more on your point, I would say rough guesstimate, considering I kind of know some numbers about like how many guys are out there actively like consistently getting dates versus not. I would say about 80% of the guys' population, 80% of men just don't dress at all. Don't care about their dress. I was like, whatever. I'm gonna throw my cargo shorts on, and
My New Balances.
Yeah, my New Balance. Well, actually, my New Balances are cool now. Don't bag on them, man. They're street style.
You know what New Balance I'm talking about? The ones you get from Walmart.
The
okay?
lawnmower.
The white.
The
dad,
mowing the lawn dad shoes. Yes, those New Balance. But like for real though, like if you just put, and I'm serious here, just a little bit of effort in your clothing. I mean, a little bit. Like just go find the right sizes. Maybe size down one. Shop around, buy one or two key pieces that might be a little more pricey. Don't go buy a Versace shirt. Don't go buy this stuff. You don't need the brand name garbage.
Please don't do that.
No, please don't.
Yuck.
Or find there's going to be like a Taylor Street in any major city if you're near one. Go one block or one street away from that major Taylor Street, and you'll find the minor tailors that can still do fantastic work for a lot less. Get a couple tailor-made shirts. I got 3 here, and I think it was ended up being like 120 US, 120
Oh, that's
for
pretty good.
For all 3 total.
That's not bad.
So I'm paying for like what you would buy a dress shirt at like the Express Men, right? That's what you're paying for, like $40 US. But I was able to get like exactly. They had a laser measurement thing. I walked literally into this booth and like stood there. You take all your freaking clothes off except your underwear inside this booth, and they laser scan your body, and it looks grotesque. You see it on the screen, you're like, dear God, that's me.
Did it make you feel like you're going through TSA again?
Oh, no. It's high def TSA, bro. You want to talk about those humbling experience? Like every little dimple, rumple, whatever, you're like, for the love of God, I didn't realize you.
Who needed to see this?
Is Jabba the Hutt getting a shirt? Because that's what the hell's on the screen here. This isn't me. This is a joke. No, it's you. But I digress. I did that, and like they even had through full laser scan. And I'm gonna tell you what, like the first one they put out, like it was 95% close. And I had him do some minor changes to it. I wanted to shorten it up because I didn't want a shirt that tucked in. I want a shirt that I could leave untucked instead of being a long dress shirt. Because like most dress shirts are really long, so you can tuck them into your suit pants, right? So I wanted one that's a little like I said, hey, can you take 2 centimeters off of it? Right, essentially, because I want it to be an untucked
That nice
shirt.
arc,
and the nice arc in the back, so it kind of comes around the back, and then as it comes around the sides, it goes up, and then it comes back around the front, it arcs back down again.
That is essential right there.
Yeah.
That's,
and I wanted
the
good untucked shirts. They brought up a couple centimeters for me, and I said, okay, look, also the button placement. I find that either my shirt buttons are all the way up here, right, or they're down here, and I feel like John Travolta from the 1970s, like everything hanging out.
It's not the 70s anymore. Okay,
right. So I'm like, can we drop a button? Can I make sure one of my buttons lands like right here, so I get that nice V? Like you want a good V because that helps, bring like highlight your face, slim your face, and I want it like here because it's either like down here or way up here on most dress shirts. So I had them like tailor it, and they're like, yeah, no problem. And I'll tell you what, they're still by far the best shirts I own. Like, and I don't wear them enough because I don't want to wear them out. But I picked some patterns, clothing, and you'll be surprised in your local area if you can find places. In the States, maybe the UK, I'm not sure so much.
Yeah.
But if you're outside of those markets, but even if you are in those, like there's a lot of these Son of a Tailor and some other sites you can go and you can literally do your body measurements and send it in, and they will tailor a shirt for you online, and you can get those for darn near what I'm paying for mine, like $40, $50 a dress shirt.
Yeah.
Get 2 or 3 of those, and you will like absolutely not regret that decision. Because when you put it on, you're like, holy this is my shirt. Like it's literally the exact sleeve length, the exact length, I mean, you put it on, it's just like, you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, everything else, like it does what it needs to do to highlight you, and it looks like you, and it's just going to give you that little 10% boost, or get you out of that bottom 80% and put you in that top 20% of the guys who are dressing right.
Yeah. It makes you feel so good too.
Yeah, it does. You have the confidence. You put on something nice. It's like, oh man, this is
also go get a haircut, guys. Like,
I've
actually,
had some bad ones, bro. I showed you. I showed you that photo like the last episode, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, let me be very honest with you guys. Like, people always say, "Oh, it's easy for you to say, Mark. You have a head full of hair," and I'm pretty sure
Mark has some awesome hair.
And I'm pretty sure like in your whole family, no one in my family's ever gone bald, or anything. That is true. But I feel like I would always say, if you guys follow my day job, my colleague, Quake, he actually started losing his hair really early on, and he just kind of full sail embraced it. And one day he just came back, shaved head, and just started growing out his beard. And my God, now he looks like a Chinese biker.
Yeah.
Love it. He's super awesome. So I'm like, guys, like if it's already on the way out, dude, just I would say bite the bullet and get jacked.
Yep. Control what you can, whatever. Now, like,
Yeah.
there's some things. If you're like starting to thin, there's things you can do. I mean, talk to a doctor about this, but there's pills. There's
Keeps.com.
Finesse. Yeah. Oh my God. I wish we were sponsored. We're sponsored by Keeps. No, we're not sponsored by Keeps. Like
You
every
know,
men's
I've been
channel.
on YouTube for a while.
Every men's channel is like, this episode is sponsored by Keeps. Are you dealing with premature hair loss? Well,
Yeah.
Keeps has your answer. But all joking aside, like, go talk to, like, seriously, I know it's an embarrassing thing. Like, finasteride will help you prevent hair loss and grow some back in certain areas. Like back here, it works. Up here, not so much. Back here, yeah. So it'll help keep that back there. You can do the shampoo. What's that called?
That German one, Alpecin, right?
Albacin does, okay. Albacin's study for the caffeine, because it's a caffeine shampoo.
Yeah.
Albacin's study was funded by them. So I'm always skeptical when the company funds
They're
their own
funding
study.
their own.
There is a dude, I use it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie, I use it. It's a antifungal shampoo. It's for dandruff. Here it's called Zudo, but it's called Nizoral.
Is it like a brown colored one?
No, it's blue.
Really? So we have one here that's like a hair growth shampoo. It's very low key. It's just a brown color. It's a clear bottle. The liquid is brown, golden amber colored. And damn, let me tell you, that stuff worked. I thought it was a myth. That stuff works so good. It worked on my beard.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, now I will get to that too. There's something about the beard thing too, but it is. I'll go grab it here. It's Nizoral, which is, what's the name of the chemical in it? But I have the Taiwan generic. In the States, you can buy over the counter. It's a 1%. Prescription's 2%. Here, you can buy over the counter 2%, which is the max. But it's an anti-dandruff. It's the only. Okay, there's only 3 things that are proven by the FDA in the U.S. to stop hair loss or regrow. It's the shampoo that's proven, and it's approved by them. The pill, finasteride, or what do they call it? Propecia is the brand name. And then the third thing is good old Rogaine, which I'll tell you right now, I tried using, and it gave me these unbearably massive headaches, and I had to stop. That was just my experience with it, even if I dosed down. But to your point on beards, did you know there's a lot of people that are getting good experiences? Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to do it. But I've seen people out there and doctors that are recommending, if you have patching spots on your beard and you want to fill them in, then you can use Rogaine on those spots.
Really?
And it will freaking work.
Huh.
But you got to stay with
Wow.
it. It takes a while, man. You got to stay. And remember, with Rogaine, if you stop using it, you lose what you gain. So, but
Well, you know, it also works with growing your facial hair out abnormally fast. Going to the gym.
yeah.
Let me keep it 100%. Like, you go to the gym, you up that testosterone level, this stuff would come out like that. Like, I know for a fact too. Like, my beard has stayed like this for the last 6 weeks because I haven't been working out. It's not grown obviously as quick.
Guys,
If
I'll
you
tell you
guys
this
watch-
too. If you're
Yeah.
over it, like, honestly, man, if you're over 30, maybe. If you're over 35, for sure, go get your blood work. Go, seriously, I get mine done every year. Go get your blood work. Go check your hormone levels. Go check your, all the stuff.
Yes, I still have a little bit of time.
Check your numbers to make sure your equipment's all working down there. Like, you don't have like prostate cancer issues. Just go get your freaking blood work done. And when I say get your blood work done, actually look for vitamin deficiencies too. Yeah, it sucks. Nobody wants to get a needle jammed in their freaking arm and all the blood sucked out. Something I didn't do, I didn't think about. And I got here, and it's something annually as a country, everybody gets an annual health check. So it's something I adopted. I'm so glad. Like, oh, hey, man, your cholesterol's high. Oh, crud. I never imagined. It's not borderline high. You're borderline high. So I brought it back down. Next time I tested, it's like, oh, hey, man, your cholesterol's cut too much fat out of your diet. I'm like, oh, okay. So, like, go Like,
Honey, bring on the cheeseburgers.
yeah, the cheap, but find a balance, right? Like, okay, I'm like, all right, well, I changed my diet to this, and it was too much fat out, and this was okay, so I'm gonna find a middle. But go get your blood work done. Like, you'd be surprised. Vitamin deficiencies can really jack you up. Like, vitamin D deficiency could really mess with you bad. Like, zinc deficiencies,
Oh, yeah.
iodine deficiencies. There are so many deficiencies out there. Just get a good panel done, and you'll be shocked at, like, if you're dealing with hair loss, sometimes it's not caused from just genetics, or it's being accelerated by other things. I hate to say it, excessive this isn't the best, especially for your testosterone levels.
Yeah.
This too much, it'll kill them. Go into the gym, absolutely helps. Hanging out with more guys, believe it or not. They say there's a lot of evidence of like spending time with your bros will increase.
Yeah.
your,
Oh,
like,
100%. I could definitely attest to that one. Yeah, for sure. Ho Shing Young, you're talking about regular health check doesn't hurt except for the wallet. I know you're in Hong Kong. Some companies here do cover an annual or twice a year body checks. So you can go check if your company covers that, because my old company did so, and I know a lot of the bigger companies here do so, especially ones that own chains or like large corporates in Hong Kong. They would do regular health checks as part of your health benefits here. So just go give that a try. I did that in my old company. Oh, yours doesn't. Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
a lot
do
of
this,
the
though.
companies here do.
A lot of times, if they don't, like, go look at clinics around here, get the blood test. I mean, the blood test is going to cost you some money, man. It's not cheap. I'm not going to lie. But if you think about it, like, you're looking at those new pair of Yeezys or that new watch or anything, right? That new fly outfit, whatever, new airsoft gun. If you're an airsoft,
Yeah.
like, for less than an airsoft gun, like, you can know exactly what's up. And I don't want to preach to you, but like, you will be shocked at your health benefits if you just get your levels right. And sometimes it's as simple as like, hey, man, you just need a B12 shot and start taking vitamin D, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be good, and like, it'll change you significantly.
Yeah.
It's worth it. So just give it a shot. Like I said, if I can encourage anybody, it's good to know. Like, nobody wants to go, guys especially. We don't want to freaking, like, it's always bad news. You go to doctors like, oh, well, here's what's wrong. It's like, it's never good news.
They never tell you what you're doing right.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, man, you're doing it right.
Dude, I have a relationship for that, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I get told it wrong all the time. It's like going to the dentist, right? It's like they never tell you, like, hey, good job. You're flossing awesome. No, you're not. But yeah, just go do it. It's something that now that I've done it multiple times, I don't see myself not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really good to know, because that way nothing sneaks up on you, right? Get that PSA test, man. If you guys are north, I know they say like, oh, you don't really need a PSA test till you're like over 40 or over 45. They say, man, if you're in your late 30s, get your PSA test. Like, just go ahead. That's for your guy parts, internal guy parts, to make sure they're operating correctly. There's a lot of things. Just get that done. Then make sure you don't have a surprise like, hey, it's elevated a little bit, man. Something may be up, right? You're not healthy, so.
Yeah, I think Ho Shing Young, like, there's the lockdowns. I'm just like, whatever. So like,
step
grooming,
one, don't cut your own hair.
Yeah.
never cut your own hair.
Wise, yeah. Grooming wise, I think the hair is what it is.
Yeah, shave it. You can do that.
Yeah. That or like the beard. I just like, once you have one of these, you learn how to take care of it. Like, you do the line down here, make sure these lines are done.
Yeah.
Sure
By the way, guys, for real, if you're going to grow a beard, take your finger and just go straight back, right? Like that.
Yeah. Right there.
Anything below there, it's gone. Don't grow. For real. If it's below your finger, it should disappear. Like, look, I even have this little scruffy line. Look at that. Right there. There's the line right at the bottom of my finger. Everything below it's gone. Yeah. Just get rid of it.
Last bit of advice from my fellow brothers here, my Asian brothers. Guys, you may not want to hear this, but go get your driver's license. Go do it. Especially boys here in Hong Kong. It's not that expensive of an investment. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive. Because it's gonna be better that you have it than you don't. Believe me, as a person who had to go through it again for the second time.
Yeah, the first time I did mine was 16. I haven't done a test since I was 16. So, but back to Ho Chi Young. Said lockdown. Here's what I would do if I were you. Go in, if you can still. Find your barber. Can't now? Fudge.
No.
I was gonna say, have them prep you a haircut that can grow out, like
That's what you should be doing in the first place.
long hair. But
Yeah.
I mean, go with the long haircut. If you're growing your hair out to a long hairstyle, you're gonna deal with a few months of just like
Yeah.
Even mine gets like I'm trying to grow this out up here, right? And no matter what I do, it's just got the curls, and I got this like hard line because it's not long enough to pull it back yet. So I still got my short line here, but like this is only this long, right? So it's just like there's nothing I can do, right? Now this top this side, because I had always parted it over here, it's long enough to take out of the way. But this side, it's just gonna take a while, right? So I'm kind of even going through that wild phase. You just got to deal with it. If you're changing hairstyles, do what you can.
Yeah.
You know, why again? Back to Mark's point. Go. The good news is, since you're now just experiencing lockdown, there were a ton of like male fashion influencers, men's lifestyle stuff, like the Men's Channel, that were telling you how to style your hair during the lockdown in the U.S. So go find a bunch of these U.S. male influencers, like the fashion influencers and styling. Go back 2 years and watch their hair videos. The good news is
What's his name? Costa? You know that
Alex
guy?
Costa.
Yeah,
Alex Costa's a great one.
Yeah. Great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Costa's good because he went like short and then he went long again.
Yeah. He's got good variety. He's
yeah.
also got really good hair too.
Yeah, he's got really good hair.
That guy.
I want his car, man. He's got my dream car, the Aston Martin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's living the life.
Yeah, he's living
surprisingly down to earth kind of guy too. You know,
he seems he seems, but he's got that immigrant life. He's got that immigrant thing, right? Like he moved.
Yeah.
He grew up his early childhood in Brazil, right? Fairly immigrated to America, and you would like he lost his accent, like he had zero accent.
Yeah.
He adopted a full American accent, has no Brazilian accent, and he's gone from like working odds and end jobs to like I would say one of the top 10. I mean, I think he won like influencer of the year or something, male fashion influencer of the year.
100%. I wouldn't be surprised. That guy, he's like, if anywhere you've seen on Instagram a male influencer, chances are it's him.
Yeah, with like long flowing hair.
Yeah.
Like
$1 million smile. Kind of
this blonde girl on his shoulder.
Beard,
that's his girlfriend's what? Her name's Robbie. She's New Zealand. She's a New Zealand dentist, but now she's a fashion influencer.
Jeez. Jono, what happened to us, bro?
I don't know, man.
That ship has sailed.
I will tell you right now, I don't think, just for me, and this is, every guy has their own opinion, I will almost with a certainty say I would never be in a relationship or date or have any kind of serious relationship at all with someone who is a female influencer. Period. I just couldn't. I mean, I'm not saying I'm insecure, but like the amount of dudes that are sliding her DMs on the daily, like one, you got to be. I mean, you can be like the most secure dude in the world. All it takes is for her to slip up once, man. What if some guy with like, what if a blue check mark slides in there, right?
One of the many.
One of the many blue check marks.
Yeah.
She probably gets blue check marks daily. These verified accounts, right? Yeah. And like some guy's like, hey, let me throw you on a jet. Come on out to the Bahamas. I got you covered, right? And after the 20th one, you're like, maybe I should, right? Oh, fashion shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it. Like that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, to be honest, like I think guys being influencers and girls, there may be different reasons. But the amount of attention we require. I mean, there's no way that you could keep up with the amount of attention that she can get externally.
And I think even if I was also a very successful male influencer in that same circle, I would not get close to as much DMs or action as my partner would. So like, I just I would never imagine myself doing that too. Like
Yeah.
nothing against them. Look, more power to you if you want to go and be a female influencer, or you want to shoot your shot and
Yeah.
date a female
Like,
influencer.
yeah, be
Look,
a boss
more
babe.
power
That's cool.
to you, man. You
Totally
know, more
cool.
power to you. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: I don't know many guys that are like business owners, executive, like guys that's, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, 9-figure entrepreneurs that would truly want to have a relationship with a girl like that. Now, date, meet, hang out with, that's one thing, but actually get into a real relationship with, most of these guys are like, they're so focused on their life. They're like, no, I don't want, like, they need their Martha Washington, their George Washington, right? They don't need
the drama.
the drama. Yeah. So
Just look at poor old Patrick Mahomes, and there you go.
yep, there's plenty out there. Heck, man, look at poor Kanye.
Oh yeah, poor Kanye.
Bro, if Kanye can't lock it down,
Yeah, man, dude. Pete Davidson.
bro,
Oh my God.
Kanye's got his arguably the freaking best tennis shoes out. Like every album he drops is fire. I mean, sells.
If Kanye can't do it,
millions.
man, poor Kanye.
I mean, really, Pete Davidson, man, that guy.
Pete Davidson, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It's just that dude.
Anyways.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. Pete Davidson is Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah.
How many girls has he been connected with?
I don't know. Him and Machine Gun Kelly. I'm gonna tell you.
Jeez, those two, yeah.
Ugh. Oh, whatever.
Anyway,
Just makes me
we don't-
reevaluate my life.
I know, right? Jeez. Just remember when you're thinking about those things, remember Kanye.
Yeah, that's right. Just remember Kanye. when you feel like you want to slide into, whatever blue check mark influencers DM, just think two things. Number one, don't simp. Number two, just think about Kanye.
Don't simp. If you're trying to slide in the DMs, don't even. You're gonna meet him in real life.
Like, look, let me be honest with you. There are some ladies that I follow that I find very inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, very and there have been more times than one that I wanted to comment something very positive and say, hey, this really motivated me. Thanks for posting this today, or something along those lines. And then I would stop because I was like, man, you know what? Don't do it.
As much as it's coming from a real place for you, and not from a place of simp.
Don't do it.
It sounds like simp. It's like
it's like they are going to read it as, oh man, just another simp. Don't do it. Just if the feelings are genuine, you feel truly motivated by this lady, then just keep it here, and that's all you got to do. So
just give him a thumbs up. That's
it.
Just
like the photo. Just give them
double tap it.
Give them the
Move
double
on.
tap and keep scrolling.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But
what a show! What a Monday!
I know.
It's all the PCR tests I had to take.
I know, man. We're talking about blood tests and everything. Like, for real, man. Like, seriously, like, men's health is important. Like, just know your stuff. Know what's wrong, man. I know it's scary as hell. Nobody wants to go in there and find out that their engine needs, new spark plugs. And, like, you take your car and you're like, oh, man, the mechanic's going to tell me something's wrong.
Jono, I think Private Bumpkin has our title for this episode.
Hashtag Remember Kanye. That is it.
Remember Kanye. That's it. And I think that's the place we can just put a bow on it.
Put the period, tie the bow, like you said.
Yeah. Put a pin in it right there. Yeah. What a show. Thanks guys for hanging out with us on another Monday.
Thanks guys. We'll see you next Monday. Yeah. We're back on track.
Mm-hmm.
No Valentine's Day in the way. Nothing like that.
It's gonna be March already next Monday.
Is it?
Is it? No, not yet. No. It will be March on Tuesday.
28. Sorry, yeah. Tuesday's March 1st.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what has happened to this year? My gosh,
man. But
so fast. Anyway, Mark and I are like, huh? I mean, if you believe it's our 30th show.
I know.
30th.
30th show. Wow, that's awesome.
Like most people, like they always say, I always tell people, like, how do I get on YouTube? I do 10, make 10. Actually, you should make 100.
Yeah.
Do 10. Like get 10 under your belt and see what happens.
Yeah.
But like here we are at 30.
30 is what it is. Hey, gotta get on the hype train. Let's go.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Only gonna get better this year. Come on.
Yeah.
Bigger and better things.
Hopefully we'll get out, start filming some vignettes like we talked about. Right. I think I know you can't. So,
Hey, there is some life things coming,
Yep.
and very soon I should be able to talk about that. So,
you're so, like I
dude,
teased that.
I don't want to.
I teased
I
that
don't
from
want-
show like 1 to, you're playing my trick, man. Show 1 to 17 or something like that. I teased that shit.
I don't want to. I want to tell everybody, but I'm sorry. Our chief executive of the city is, male chicken blocking me. Okay. I would love to be able to do it, but it is what it is. So you guys will find out soon. I want to tell you sooner, but sadly, it's not in
trust
my
me,
hand.
from someone who's in the know.
Yeah.
Totally worth the wait.
Yeah, if I would be able to tell you like 3 weeks ago, I would have. Yep, it is what it is. Well, with that said, and you have anything to wrap it all up as you go through your steak chips?
I mean, my like very light barbecue sauce flavor chips. Be honest, man. The picture of that juicy steak got me. That's some that's some medium rare, actually some rare stuff right there. That's good.
That does look like a good steak.
That'll be the first thing I eat, by the way, when I go to the States.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or
Steak,
Chipotle.
barbecue.
Or In-N-Out Burger. Decisions.
I don't know. My ritual is the moment I land on American soil, the first thing I do is I go get a Dr. Pepper.
We can get Dr. Pepper here.
You can't get Dr. Pepper
You
here.
don't have
but
Dr.
in
Pepper
City
there?
Super. We only have Dr. Pepper in City Super. That's it.
No way.
Yep. And I'm not paying $2 a can of Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're like $2 or $3 something
No,
here.
like the small cans. Too.
Yeah,
Okay.
like this size. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like 50 cents in America. I don't know, man. I'm going to be shocked at prices when I get back to the States. I'm sure.
Yeah. So that's my thing every time. Land on U.S. soil, Dr. Pepper. Here I come.
Yep. Jay's like, yep, we do have them here, man. We got Dr. I've seen Dr. Pepper and cherry Dr. Pepper here.
Oh, nice. Well, sucks to be me.
Mountain Dew, baby. We got Mountain Dew everywhere.
We had Mountain Dew here for the longest time until we don't. So
Really?
also sucks to be me.
I got the producer hooked on Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
So now
Mountain
the
Dew.
producer has to have Taco Bell. It's next.
Oh, there you go. That's oh, okay.
Taco Bell and then Baja. I got to get the producer Baja Blast Mountain Dew. The pinnacle, the holy
yes.
grail, the seafood on the
Will-
top
will-
of the mountain.
Will you
Mountain
be
Dew.
you'll be going through like Texas or further down south, right? Dude, you gotta go to drink Big Red.
Oh, Big Red. Yeah, that could be
There,
interesting.
there
Should
will
have
be
Big Red.
there will be nothing like she's ever drank before. Big Red.
Big Red's impossible to describe.
Big Red tastes like Big Red. I don't even
Yeah.
know how to explain it. I don't even know how to
It does.
explain it.
There's
It's like
that.
you know. Like I don't know how to like the flavor. It's all over the place.
It's like a little bit of vanilla cream. I don't even know vanilla cream soda, but not. And then it's like like Dr Pepper, but it's not.
Is it cherry Coke? Is it Dr. Pepper? Is it like
vanilla cream
is
soda with
cinnamon?
cherry in it?
Is it
With cinnamon?
I don't know. It's Big Red. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
they Big Red's good. What else? RC Cola.
Yes, RC Cola.
Where else? Man, there's so many good things.
Oh, the old retro Pepsi and the old retro Cokes.
Oh,
With cane sugar.
well, we have that's where like regular Coke.
You have that
though.
here?
Yeah, like
Okay,
our regular
good.
sugar Cokes here.
We don't have that here.
What else? What could be a good one? I'm trying to think what other sodas. It's gonna be something. RC's very Nashville. RC and a moon pie. But everybody has a moon. We have moon pies here. Like I forget what they're called. The Taiwanese version of them. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good stuff. Well, I'll have to do a U.S. food tour. Barbecue.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Oh, it's a barbecue. Well, until then, see y'all next time.
Yep, and stay hopped
Stay hopped up.
up.